Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for that NBA main slate here on Thursday. We got another two-game playoff slate. Real quick, let's see how we're currently doing tonight. It was a night to forget tonight, guys. Where we were right here, the value guys, Connaughton, Mirotic, um, Ilyasova. I played two of the three, Connaughton and Ilyasova. Um, Also, Draymond, I liked him a lot. Bledsoe, between him and Hill, I preferred Bledsoe, and he was solid for his price. Um, and then obviously, Harden's doing okay. Where we were wrong, Kyrie, big time, man. I really thought being on the brink of elimination down 3-1, he had shot the ball poorly the previous two games and still put up, 44 and 49 fantasy points. He said he's going to be more aggressive out there, so I rode with it, and yeah, it was a massive failure. So I apologize if I talked you guys onto Kyrie, but I really thought he was just too cheap there. But again, the last three games of the playoffs have not looked good. And where also I was wrong, Steph Curry here. I know it's still the second quarter, but it's a Klay Thompson game. He's having one of those games, so yeah, you definitely want a Klay in your lineup. He's going to have a few of those games, but. And then Gordon Hayward obviously not that good either. No one really on the Boston side was good at all. So gonna be a losing night there. But let's see if we can bounce back here on this two-game slate. So, all right, two games: Toronto, Philly, Denver, Portland. So we'll start with point guard and Damian Lillard. Portland down, they're on the brink of elimination here. This is a must-win. Lillard at 8.8K. I like him here. I know I kind of been off from the last few games, but this is a must-win scenario. He hasn't really flashed the huge upside yet in this series. And yeah, I just have a gut feeling that he's going to take over, have a good game. So I do like Lillard here at 8.8K. Jamal Murray, these Denver guys, they're just not, the price tags are not going up on some of these guys enough. Jamal Murray, just been playing some great basketball here. The minutes are there. The matchup's good. 6.9K, it's not coming up enough. So I like Jamal Murray once again here. CJ, same thing, Portland needs to win this game. So I really think Lillard, McCollum, both these guys are going to have some big games. Both of them are underpriced, so no issue with McCollum. I think you can probably even run both of them if you wanted to. Obviously, there is some negative correlation going on, but I would still think that is viable. Ben Simmons here. Don't know what to say. I mean, I have in mind, the buy low on him last few games, but he just really has not looked good. Not being aggressive at all. They got blown out last time. We only played 25 minutes, but in 25 minutes, put up 25 fantasy points. You can still buy low on him again here. The price is so cheap. He really has not looked good in this series. But again, that price tag is pretty appealing. Lowry finally had a pretty solid game. Put up 37 fantasy points. The price didn't really move up that much, only 200. So I don't have an issue with Kyle Lowry here at 6.5K. And then below that, so Seth Curry. I know this game was a blowout. Still saw 26 minutes. They've been limiting Harkless, kind of giving those minutes to Seth Curry and Rodney Hood, which is, you got to take note of that. I know Seth Curry does have a low floor, but if you really want to go stars and scrubs, I don't think Seth Curry is the worst play there. All right, let's move on to shooting guard. Jimmy Butler. So if you want to ride the hot hand in these playoffs, it's Jimmy Butler and it's Kawhi. The price, again, it's creeping up there, but for his level of production in these playoffs, I don't think it's up enough. So, like I said, if you're one of those guys that likes riding the hot hand, definitely roll Jimmy Butler there. Gary Harris at 4.9. I just prefer other Nuggets. I think he's fine for cash games. Doesn't really have a huge upside. So for that reason, I'm probably not going to go there just because, again, I've kind of been stuck in the tournaments here. But, I think he's fine for cash games. JJ Redick, Danny Green. Guys that really never play. Redick has not looked good. Too scoring dependent. Same thing with Danny Green, even though he had a solid game last time out. Just two guys that I don't really like playing. Right below them, Will Barton here at 4.3. Been playing some big minutes off the bench. This is a guy that will get you some rebounds, some assists, a blocker, a steal here and there. So it doesn't really have to score the ball. We have seen he does have a low floor every once in a while, but right now I've been playing some pretty solid basketball. He's that high usage guy at the bench, so I do like him as a value play here at 4.3K. And then Rodney Hood, another guy you definitely can consider as value play. Again, the minutes have been going down in Harkless and going up on guys like Seth Curry and Rodney Hood. So if you want to play the extreme stars and scrubs, you can consider Rodney Hood for sure. Torrey Craig at 3.4. Did have a solid game last time out, 22 fantasy points. I'm not going to chase that. I think there's better value plays, so I'm not going to go there. All right, let's move on to small forward. Kawhi, again, if you want to ride the hot hand, it's Kawhi and Jimmy Butler in these playoffs. Kawhi's has been phenomenal here. The price tag didn't move at all. Even in a blowout, in only 36 minutes, put up 48 fantasy points. This guy's been unstoppable, so have no issue with Kawhi at all. Now, if you're picking, I definitely think it's viable to play, Kawhi and Jokic. But if I had to pick between the two, I'm still going to lean Jokic by a little bit. But I still like Kawhi. Like I said, he's been great in these playoffs. Tobias at 6.4. He got in some foul trouble. Still played 34 minutes, even in a blowout. I do like him as a buy low. Him and Ben Simmons haven't looked that good here in this series. But the price tags are dropping on them, so to a point where they're both playable. I think both those guys go kind of somewhat low owned. Aminu at 4.7. He had one good game in the series. Doesn't really have the huge upside, so I just don't think I want to go there. Mo Harkless, again, the minutes have been dropping on him and going up on guys like Rodney Hood and Seth Curry. So for that reason, I'm just off Harkless. Minutes are too inconsistent. James Ennis, another value guy. I know he didn't look good the last game. In 23 minutes, only put up 3 fantasy points. So he does have a low floor. But in the previous 3, 26, 17, 20 fantasy points. Guy's going to play right around 25 minutes or so. I definitely think he's another value guy you can consider. Mike Scott got into the rotation here. Got played, 18 minutes. That's really, really stretching it here. 2.7. I guess if you really need a guy, you could go there. But I probably am going to look elsewhere. All right, let's move on to power forward. Siakam. So came back and looked really good in 34 minutes. Put up 46 fantasy points. Obviously, the calf didn't look like it bothered him that much there. Obviously, he had that off game. The previous game, it came back in a big way for 46 fantasy points. So he's been a little up and down in this series, a little unpredictable. But I think the price tag is very fair on him. So if you're going more towards, the balanced, lineup construction, which I definitely think is viable on the slate, I think Siakam perfectly fine here. And then Millsap, again, the price tags are not moving up enough on these Denver guys. Jamal Murray, Millsap, Jokic, they're just not moving up enough. 5.9, he jumped 300. This guy, he just matched up so well against Portland. He's put up 40 fantasy points in 3 straight games. I like him again here. They're even throwing, they're throwing Aminu on Jokic. So that's even Cantor on Millsap. Cantor, not a good defender at all. So Millsap's been having his way here. So I like him again here at 6.2K. I don't think the price is up there enough. Ibaka, a value guy, another one of those value guys you can consider. I think plays anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. 4.1 seems a little underpriced for him. I think he's perfectly fine. And then the extreme value guys, Mason Plumlee, Zach Collins. Plumlee's going to play about 15 minutes or so, but he's going to be productive when he's out there. So again, if you're going more of that extreme stars and scrubs, and need a really cheap guy, I think Plumlee perfectly fine here. And the same thing with Collins. He's going to play right around 20 minutes or so. So Mason Plumlee, Zach Collins, perfectly fine here as value guys. Let's move on to center. Again, Jokic, just locking him in here. The matchup's too good. Portland has no one that can stop him. I like Jokic again here. He's just been dominant in this series. And then the big question of the slate is what to do with Embiid here. The price has dropped all the way to 9K now. He's had one good game in this series where he put up 61. And the other games he has really not looked good. Marc Gasol, solid defender here. Obviously the matchup's not good, but this is a must-win scenario. It's at home. Take it with I'm a little undecided. The minutes have been there too. 28, 35, 31. He hasn't been feeling the best. Maybe a couple days of rest here. Maybe he feels better for this game. I don't know. So I think Gill's pretty low owned, but I think he's worth a look for sure. The guy that has massive upside at a price of 9K. Cantor at 5.7. Back-to-back kind of off games here. The minutes have dropped on him a bit too. Again, this game was kind of a blowout. I think he's perfectly fine at 5.7. The price tag definitely makes him playable. So yeah, no issue if you want to go Cantor there. Gasol. We're playing some pretty big minutes here. 29, 39, 33 minutes last 3 games. 5.1K. A guy that doesn't have huge upside, but they need him out there to guard Embiid. So I think it's perfectly fine. I know, more of a cash game play. So yeah, let's go over the value plays one more time here. So let's start with guys like Will Barton and below. So Will Barton, I think, is pretty solid here. He's a high usage guy off the bench. He's been playing some big minutes here of late. So I do like him quite a bit. Ibaka's perfectly fine. I think that I do like Plumlee and I like Zach Collins. They seem a little too cheap for their level of production, so those are probably your next 2 favorite value guys. And then Seth Curry, Rodney Hood, those guys have been getting some bigger minutes with Harkless kind of struggling. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this 2-game slate here. So let's see if we can bounce back after an off night tonight with a winning night Thursday. So I think that's it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section down below. It's also important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts as more news comes out. Really not waiting on any news, but if there's any late breaking injury news, I will give my thoughts. And I'll be back for another video whenever there's another 2-game slate. If there is going to be one. Let's see. Possibly Sunday. Sunday would be the next slate. So yeah, I'll see you guys then.